I like to say that when you're so close to the ocean like this with the dramatic cliffs, you can almost feel the weight of the water, and like the mass of the ocean, like the energy. Sometimes we feel like we're in a movie almost.
We want you to feel like you're walking out to sea. You're one with the ocean, you get in the elevator, you come down, and it kind of leads you into a more dramatic space over and over and over again.
This week's episode brings us back to Zihuatanejo, Mexico. We were here 3 years ago touring Casa and and over 5.5 million views later, it became one of our most beloved episodes. That video led to the sale of the home and created an immense amount of interest for the development of Puente. This time we're sitting down with the developers, Nick and Pablo, to get an inside look into their newest Cliffside home, Casa Puente. Its powerful and contemporary architecture combined with traditional Mexican craftsmanship and at a price point of $4.5 million adds up to a tour you won't want to miss. All right, everyone, once again, welcome to Zihuatanejo, Mexico. We were here a little less than 3 years ago, and it feels incredible to be back in this city, in this development. And we're beyond excited to show you this brand new home that was developed by the same individuals that built the first home that we toured in this neighborhood. Now, from the street level, we have the concrete driveway taking you to the carport. I really like the rock finish with these stone inlays. And over on this side, we have two 4x4s. Now, even though you can drive regular cars in this development, most people actually drive these 4x4s. They're super fun. They just make your experience a little bit more exciting and a little bit more holiday-like as you're going around the neighborhood. Now, I also like that we have a steel frame carport here, which is a generous size. You can easily park two good sized SUVs here, and obviously you get a peek of the Pacific Ocean even from your carport. Now, Cody, why don't we bring everybody to the entry of this home? So as you can see, we have the steps here taking you up to this bridge. And to my right, we also have an outdoor staircase that leads you down to the main level. But I want to actually show this arrival sequence to everyone, which is super, super special. This home is called Casa Puente. Puente in Spanish means bridge. So you have this bridge that is located on the top floor of this property that cantilevers at the end, so you feel like you're floating above the Pacific Ocean. And as you can see, we have a massive board from concrete elevator cube that connects this level to every single floor of this property. And while we're on this side, we can actually tilt down so we can take a look at that outdoor staircase. I love the raw landscaping on the back. It's a really exotic and warm way to welcome yourself into this home. To my right and left, we have the first set of structures here. In fact, this is the kitchen and this is the formal living room. And I really like that roofs are actually landscaped. And Cody, I know you were mentioning this, that they specifically chose these little plants because they don't grow that much and they're easy to maintain, right?
Exactly, yeah. So they're little tiny plants that don't have such deep root structures either. So it's low maintenance. It won't ever interfere with the roof structure itself.
It won't damage your house.
Exactly, and it provides some insulation too because you have that layer of soil that keeps the hot air out and that cool air in.
And it's just a nice way to bring some additional greenery here. Now, let's continue. I mean, this is so fascinating. Now we're on this bridge that floats. And now let's talk about this elevator cube. So when you look at this house from the outside, you realize that it's built on this very steep hillside. And being able to place a massive 4-story concrete elevator shaft is not easy. And they built it by using forms, and they will basically place a form, pour it, and next they take the same form out, and put it on top of the existing concrete and keep pouring it till they reach to this level. And if that wasn't enough, as part of your welcome experience, you basically walk your guests all the way to the edge so they can enjoy, appreciate, and experience the Pacific Ocean this way, which is exhilarating. I mean, you can hear the waves, this coastline, the dramaticness of the landscape, these beautiful architectural homes, sunny weather. This is a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in, but it's so beautiful. To the left, you have the coastline that bends around so you can see for miles. And on the right, we're on a point here too. So anything to the right of us is just the open ocean.
I mean, it's just seeing these waves hit the coastline, this powerful sound. And the fact that you get to live around this and see it and experience it every single moment you spend in this house is fascinating. And I mean, there's something magical about being on the edge of this balcony, looking down to the house, understanding and appreciating the structure that you're standing on, overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
So you'll find that Punta Gorobo is dramatically situated just outside of the center of Zihuatanejo. It's situated at the end of a road on its own peninsula. It's 100 acres, well over 1 million square feet. And it offers just breathtaking views, as you can tell, breathtaking landscape. It's very Jurassic in nature. At least in my experience, you can feel Punta Gorobo, you can feel Ziwa. Whether you're up in the cliffs or you're down on the rocks, you can feel the waves, you can hear nature. We build to that. The land, what I've found here developing, the land gives the answer, right? So this is a vertical lot where you're sitting today, Casa Puente. So every opportunity that the topography presents gives us the ability to be creative and kind of capture that essence of Ziwa and build around it. There's actually a restaurant in Ixtapa that was called Caucan. And having traveled here quite a bit in the past, and after our first project, we would take people to this restaurant, and it was situated on a cliff that had a bridge that led you to an elevator, which then took you down to the beach side where you would have dinner. The architect of this house happened to design that restaurant, and we had discussed that arrival sequence, which was so impressive. We want you to feel like you're walking out to sea. So we decided that with the given verticality of this lot, that we had a great opportunity to kind of tap into that. So in this house, we decided that we wanted to include an elevator with a bridge that took the guests down to the experience.
The arrival to the main level is really special. We have the white steps bringing us to this landing where you can see the lush landscaping, and the stucco throughout this space and the home is actually Chacun plaster. Chacun plaster is a lime-based stucco mixed with resin from Chacun trees. It's an ancient technique, and I just love the depth, the variation, and the smoothness it brings to the surfaces. Not to mention, we also have board form concrete. That bridge that we just toured is right above us. It's all steel framed. And over on this side, they also use this beautiful pink stone that just gives additional color to this entry. And I just love how tropical, exciting, and calming this entry is. Now on the other side, we have one of the board form columns that hold up the bridge, and I just really appreciate that they've created this really nice radius on top, and obviously board form concrete is at the very core of this structure throughout the home. Now follow me this way. This beautiful walkway takes you to the rest of the main level. It is nicely landscaped, adding up to that tropical feel as you're going more deeper into the home. And before we go check out these breathtaking views, I want to get the specs of this property out of the way. We have 5 bedrooms, 6.5 bathrooms, 10,392 square feet of built-up area, on the market for $4.5 million. And I want to give big thanks to the listing agent, Tracy Tudor, and the 2 gentlemen behind this project, Nick and Pablo, for making this tour possible. As always, you can find more information about Casa Puente in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out. And I know the price point is not something that we cover on our channel quite often, but in Mexico, $4.5 million gets you a lot, and it gets you this breathtaking view. I mean, this cantilevering roof structure above us, the Pacific Ocean, your pool, this looks like a dream.
It really does. I love how open everything is, and I love how it feels like you're in a 5-star resort, but it could actually be your own home.
It pushes you to use every single corner of this home, and it's here for you to enjoy. And in fact, let's go check out some of the interior spaces first. Let's go to our right. We have this floating deck here leading us to the living room of this home. But Cody, before we go there, can we actually pan to this side and showcase this dramatic view one more time? We're gonna point out the views throughout the tour. The coastline, the waves, the sound of the ocean, this raw landscape, and then this architectural home with the cantilevering roof lines, steel, concrete, stucco. These elements coming together, it creates a beautiful juxtaposition, and it feels very powerful to be here. Now, let me take everybody to the living room. I'm just gonna open up the sliding glass doors here. This is one of the many interior spaces that we're gonna see throughout this home. In fact, properties in Zihuatanejo generally feature a lot of interior spaces that are blended with the outdoor spaces. So you can get a standalone room like this, or you may have a fully open floor plan. Now, in this case, we're looking at a really comfortable living room with the same chukun plaster walls. You have the polished concrete floors as well. That way you have that concrete and sand theme. And to warm up the space, we have wood plank ceilings, a comfortable seating area here, massive TV, and this really cool dining area. Now, palm wood, when it dries, it retains its stability. It actually stays very straight and it doesn't warp. And that's why it makes a great wood for structural elements or for solid wood furniture. Now, in this case, you can see these massive beams, and they also wood clad the entire ceiling to create additional warmth. And we're gonna see palm wood throughout the house as well, and it's just a nice, durable, stable wood.
Yeah, and it gives like the entire home more of a tropical feel too, and it's more native to the location we're in.
Exactly, especially against the stucco walls.
Definitely.
Now, there's another detail here that I would like to point out. We have the polished concrete floors, and as you transition to another room where you have these door openings, they also have the pebble tiles. It's just a nice touch. And this is a full bathroom with a double vanity to my left, and glass enclosed water closet and a walk-in shower here. And this open bathroom also serves as your pool bathroom, since we have the main deck to our right. Now, this door opens back out to the entry, so it's a full circle moment, and you can also see that concrete arch opening that we talked about earlier from this angle. Again, nicely landscaped, and Cody, let's get a close up here because there's a really cool detail. The stepping stones that they use throughout, even they have these curved edges, these beautiful radiuses. It's just a nice touch. Now, next up, close to the living room on the other side, we have the outdoor dining area and this open kitchen, which is a beautiful space, glass table that sits 12, and I appreciate that they decorated the entire space. It just shows you how it's gonna look or how beautiful it would be to have your friends and family here. Enjoy the space, enjoy the views, and in fact, let's flow straight to the kitchen. Again, we have the pebble tiles on the threshold, sliding glass doors open up, and the same local wood craftsmanship is also in this kitchen, through and through, with the cabinets, doors, the ceiling design. And in fact, Cody, can we get a close-up? I wanna show how solid these cabinet doors are. This is a solid piece of wood. A lot of the kitchens that we see, they're veneers, but this one is locally fabricated, and then you have your decked on countertops for additional strength. It's essentially a fabricated material that is super durable. Your gas cooktop, your vent, same plaster walls with some casement windows, open shelving again. I love the deep, rich color of this wood. In fact, both the kitchen cabinets and all the built-ins that we're gonna see later on are Puente wood, which is another exotic wood that is known for its strength, durability, and that's why all the kitchen cabinetry and even the frames of these drawers are made out of Puente wood. Your main sink, dishwasher is located on this side, and of course in the center we have this beautiful island with an oversized countertop, some open shelving on this side, and coming here we have a door that opens up to the service section of this kitchen, and that also leads you back to the entry. So you have an easy access to your kitchen as well. Now, here we have all the built-ins. Their thermidor, your 2 ovens, espresso maker, which is always a nice touch, your microwave, and I believe we have the panel freezer and the fridge on this side. It is nicely stacked with all the waters and drinks. Big thanks to Nick and Pablo. This makes our life very easy here.
Definitely.
It is a little hot today. You guys may see me sweating. So it's nice to have all those cold drinks ready to enjoy. And you simply flow back outside, back to your outdoor dining area, and to this amazing level. I mean, the openness of this level, how you have the Pacific Ocean right in front of you, you feel like you're floating up in the air. And as you're at this point, it's hard for you to pick the spot, the corner, the section you want to enjoy because you have so many different options. And again, it's just exciting to be on this level. Now, before I go down, right in front of us, we have the elevator, again, connecting you to all 4 levels. And taking down the steps to our right, we have this outdoor seating area. 2 chairs, built-in section, gorgeous coffee tables that are built from solid wood, and then you have this pebble detail here that I personally love. These are not mosaic tiles, meaning they don't come in sections. A craftsman actually sits down and individually installs each one of the pebbles. In fact, the lady that installs them goes through a bunch of different rocks and picks each rock that she's gonna lay. That way, you also have a beautiful uniformity and continuity. I mean, it probably takes her days to even just get this section, but it brings that instant character, and I just love it. Now you have your built-in section here with a planter, and over on the corner, we have this really cool ant accessory. We've actually seen this accessory before on the other property, so I just wanted to point that out. Now, another thing that I like about this section is the fact that you have this massive steel canopy above us. This provides the shade that you need in a hot climate like this, and it also frames the view. It makes it easier for you to digest this vastness that's in front of you, which is the Pacific Ocean. And welcome to your infinity edge pool. You have your lounging beds. Ipe decking here, again, following the theme of durable wood across the property, and this pool is so inviting. The plaster work, and on the bottom section we have this dark stone that's called Pietra Laja Negro, and this stone actually comes from the grounds of this property. As they were demoing and pouring the foundation, they had to break some rocks, and they used the same rocks in the pool. And I'm talking about a way of recycling the materials and bringing back the earth into the home. This is such a clever touch, and it contrasts nicely against the gray plaster and that infinity edge. And I'm sorry that I'm talking about this to you as if it's a normal thing. It's not. Like, this is wild.
It really is. And I just want to go back to the pool for a second. I thought it was very cool that the developers decided to basically pay homage to the land that this home is sitting on by repurposing some of that rock for the pool and giving it a unique one-of-one design.
Definitely. It looks beautiful. And sound of the ocean certainly helps.
Definitely.
Now, let's continue to this side. We have some areas to cover. First off, we love a good cantilever moment right above me, steel frame, same palm wood. And over on this side, we have an outdoor bar and a barbecue area. You have your island with a tall countertop seating. Again, love these bar stools, all local furniture. Decton countertops, and I mentioned it earlier. Decton is a man-made material comprised of glass, quartz, and porcelain. So it's very durable, and it sits great against heat as well, and giving that it can be used both indoors and outdoors certainly helps the case of this property as well. And I also like that this section is open. You can see the balcony that's right in front of the living room that we covered earlier, your sink, built-in cabinetry, gas grill, some open shelving on this side. And as you continue, you're drawn back to the view. In fact, Cody, can we lean on the edge for a second? It is quite dramatic. I mean, it's crazy how high up we are. And it is fascinating how they place these architectural homes on a steep hillside like this. Now next, another outdoor dining area here, right on the edge for you to capitalize on these views and the sound. And Cody, why don't you meet me on the other side? We have some lounging beds here. And I want to bring everybody to this point. where you can see what's below this property, this beautiful corner, the rock formation, waves coming in, the sound. And we have two incredible properties here. We're also touring Casa, which is arguably the most premier property here in the development. It is massive, architectural, its design is so unique. So that will also be a property that we're gonna be touring on this trip. We're gonna be enjoying these views throughout, and I mean, what can I say? It's been already incredible. The moment we step our foot into this location, we've been feeling its Zen energy, its landscape, its culture, and that's pretty much it for the main level of this property. And we still have 2 more levels to go.
We situated the house almost like it's at a 90-degree angle, right? So it's upside down 90-degree angle. So you've got the point and it comes down. You have your traditional open air space first, and that will lead you down into the bedrooms, which are more private, more secluded. And because of that, you are literally tucked into the side of the mountain. We've been very lucky in achieving, what would normally be very difficult for someone to do because of the great team we have here.
I feel like a location like this is a good way for people to really get creative, where you can break the norms of regular homes and do something fun, do something a little bit more bold. And the landscaping here is so rewarding that you almost don't want to design something typical.
The thought process with this home was, how do we make it accessible and practical given the steepness of the lot? And then at the same time is, how do we create this beautiful reveal to, the end user or a guest that's coming here? Similarly, if you take sort of the stair entrance to the house, you kind of get a little bit of a reveal when you turn the corner. Right under that bridge, you can see directly into the ocean.
But here we wanted to do something different and create this trade ceiling, structured by steel, and its flat roof system. It really plays with your perception of depth and distance. I mean, you can see for almost forever here.
One of the things about this house is that you'll see a lot of rectangular shapes in these pergolas in all of the bedrooms, but you're basically looking at a painting. We framed each view, and so when the sun is setting, you get these kind of like beautiful paintings. So that's something that we were thoughtful of, is how do we surprise our buyer or our guest or whoever's walking the house.
Can you tell us about how these homes are built here? We're basically on a cliffside, and this is a very solid mountain.
Yeah.
You can see the rock formation. You can see how strong this entire peninsula sits against the ocean. How do you work around that, and how do you place these homes on a hillside?
It's complex, but it's fun. The early days when you come into your lot, before you start building, they'll actually carve a path down the mountain, and they'll place random, at different spots according to the plan. You'll be like, okay, here you are, you're on a platform, this is where your pool is going to be, this is where your living room is.
Just so you can get an idea.
You get an idea of where you are. But even then, after the land's been cleared and you're walking down, you're like, well, shit, I'm on the side of a mountain. What I mean? But that's the fun part. When you're building on a cliff with this type of verticality, you dig into the cliff. You don't drill, which is what you would do conventionally in construction on a flat surface. You have to first, in some instances, dynamite the rock because it's so tough. You can't even get an excavator.
To fracture
there.
it so you can excavate it.
And you have to get the equipment down here. And then what you'll do is you find yourself creating seats and tiebacks into the mountain. So you'll actually create a flat plateau for the foundation to sit on, and then you tie it back into the mountain to anchor it. And we always over-engineer for that purpose because we are on a cliff, so you want to make sure that this is a very safe structure. Every lot has a different topography, and you have to adapt to it.
Welcome to the bedroom level. Now, this property consists of 4 floors. We saw the bridge, we saw the main level, and below us is the lower level. So this floor in the center houses 3 bedroom suites, including the primary bedroom, hence the bedroom level. Now we're gonna take this hallway To my right, we have the elevator landing, and over on this side, we have these two doors opening up the spacious storage closets. This one is a walk-in linen closet, and this particular room is actually massive, but I'm not gonna open up the door because that's where we have all of our camera gear, and it's a mess in there right now, so we're gonna leave it closed and discreet. Follow me this way. First door opens up to the first bedroom suite. We have the same chukun plaster also in this room, and I love the ceiling height here with all these palm beams. Then you have two full-size beds with bed canopies. It's a nice touch. Built-in cabinetry on this side. And Cody, let's get a close-up here. We have a massive casement window perfectly framing the view outside. Now, of course, this room also comes with a full bathroom with marble fabricated vanities, walk-in shower, and the same wood finishes that we've been seeing throughout with the cabinetry. Now, I want to take everybody back so we can see some of the other spaces on this level. Now, I want to do something a little bit different. As you all know, on our channel, we do our best to cover every single detail and construction aspect of these projects. But as you also know, our videos have been getting long lately. We're touring bigger properties, we're going into more details. In fact, the door to my left opened up to the utility area of this property, and from there you can actually go to the bottom of the home where you can really see the structural elements of this property and how it's built on the hillside. So I shot a video talking about this room and the overall construction aspect of this property and how they're placing these massive homes on a cliffside like this. If you want to watch that video, there's a link in the description that leads you to our Patreon, and this video is open to public. Anybody can watch it. I just wanted to cover that aspect on another platform. Go learn more about this property. And in fact, let's continue our tour because we have 3 rooms to see here. 2 bedrooms on each side, and the doors behind me, let's see, open up to this really cool space. Again, the first thing stands out is the furniture, this coffee table, the dresser below the TV, how between the wood paneling, the ceilings, and the furniture bring so much warmth, immediate warmth to the space. There's also a really cool art piece here. These are Pepsi bottles that are wrapped in fabric, talking about taking something worthless and turning it into something really unique, different, and dimensional.
Definitely, it's very, very cool.
It is super cool, and if that wasn't enough, look what's above us. That is our pool. Our infinity edge pool. And I love that they took the time and brought the board from concrete aspect to this side as well. So it gives that industrial dimension. And here's something interesting that I want to talk about. You see the light fixture here and the light fixture on this side?
I do.
So when they were pouring the pool, they actually laid conduit into the pool, essentially a plastic pipe, knowing that there were going to be electrical fixtures. And later on, they use the same pipe to pull the wires so they can connect these light fixtures, because it would be so hard to drill that pool later on and be able to run wires there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, talk about just planning.
You have to plan it. You have to know that it was going to land like this in this room so you can have the light fixtures appropriately spaced out from the walls.
Very cool.
Now, the last thing I want to do is talk about the Juliet balcony here. You are floating above the ocean, and what a cool way to bring the wild outdoors straight into your seating area on this level. I love it.
It's so cool.
I
The
love
sound, the breeze, it's incredible.
And let me just close these doors real quick, and there you go. Just like that, you're back in the seating area. Now, Cody, let's go back to the hallway because we got to tour the second guest suite, which is on this side, and I'm gonna go right in. First space we walk into is the open bathroom. I mean, I have to acknowledge the pebble tile detail, how it contrasts so nicely against the polished concrete floors. Your green marble fabricated vanity with 2 sinks, beautiful millwork, and even these mirrors are nicely framed. Your wall sconces, plaster walls, and the first door to my right open up to your water closet. There's a nice casement window there, and the second glass door opens up to the walk-in shower. They also have pebble tiles here, and in these showers, they feel so good underneath your feet. And you have your rain head, and what a nautical way to frame the rain head inside of this millwork, inside of this wood frame. It just kind of brings an additional layer of warmth and coolness. This is your walk-in shower, and you get to see the nature from the casement window as well.
It's very cool.
Super cool. Now next, we're gonna see the bedroom itself which is spacious and gets jaw-dropping views. Seamless opening to a dedicated balcony. I'm gonna skip the views on this one because I wanna focus on the bedroom itself. Again, your polished concrete floors, the pebble tile detail on the floor, framing the bed, and there's also a built-in section within the bed. You can see the headboard design. You have your bedside tables, minimalist decoration, a very comfortable, cozy room to be in. And the fact that in the mornings, you just go out to a balcony, life doesn't really get much better. Now, next up, we have the primary bedroom. Now, let me rephrase myself. Each level actually features a primary bedroom, and this is the one on this floor. King size bed right in the center. Room is very spacious. You can see the palm ceiling design. The same board form concrete pool that we saw is also here. Your seamless opening to the balcony that we're gonna check out in a second. And right in the center of the room, we have the king size bed. I love this flow, how you can walk on the back side of the bed and in front and on the sides. And of course, the pebble tile feel. It's almost changing the feel of the floors right before you go to your bed. Or in the morning when you wake up, this is the first texture that you feel. I also love that the bed is low, so when you're laying down here, all you see is the infinity, the view, the ocean, and you can obviously hear it. And this is such a cool space. The lighting detail is also here, your split AC unit. And Cody, let's turn towards this side. We talk about the parota wood throughout the home, and the built-ins are also made out of the same species. You have some open shelving, wardrobe space, and even at the entry, there's a little bar area. What a quaint space.
I love this room so much.
It's so nice, the way, how they design spaces in this part of Mexico, the finishes, the stones, the sands, the stucco, and the local furniture. It just creates a unique ambiance that is happy, welcoming, and it's, I'm gonna make an interesting comment, but it's hard to be angry around here.
You know what? That's true. Yeah,
like
I agree.
Ever since we came here and we've been working hard, we've been just smiling. It's hard to not enjoy this place.
I agree.
All right, come on in. We're gonna talk about a detail in a water closet. That's a cool toilet paper holder.
It is.
That's creative.
Just wait till that catches on in LA.
Yeah,
it's gonna be everywhere.
We also have a marble sink here with curved corners, 2 sinks, chrome fixtures, some open shelving, framed mirrors. And Cody, can you actually come to this side? Towel holder, kind of like in the same theme.
Yep, very cool.
And of course, a very important Zihuatanejo detail. An outdoor shower. Give me a break. I love these. Anytime, any excuse you have to shower outside, please do. It's much more of an immersive experience. It's neutralizing. And you have your control here. There's also a recessed in section for your shampoos. And in case you're wondering the privacy aspect, since the side is open, well, you don't really have any neighbors here. And in the future, you can easily put some wooden louvers here to create privacy. And there are no neighbors on this side as well, obviously. You have the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it's magical. There's something to be said about our proximity to the ocean, how we can hear it. And then you have this raw, powerful landscape around you. You have so much privacy, and you get to live in an architectural home like this, where you can experience this scene, these qualities all together. It hits you different. In fact, Cody, can we pan down towards the ocean for a second? The grounds of this property is really unique, and there's almost like this natural path that takes you down to the water. If I were to live in this house, I would literally pour my coffee in a thermos, grab a book or just a notepad, and walk all the way down to the ocean and just sit there, drink my coffee, listen to the ocean. No phone, no music, nothing.
100%.
And I promise you, you will not be bored. There's something very powerful about nature. You will be so inspired. It will feel so relieving and refreshing. And you will have so many ideas that you want to pursue. You just want to write them down. And this is really why we love this area so much, what it has to offer. In fact, we're putting together a really big vlog behind the scenes of our trip here. We're gonna do so many different activities, the properties we're gonna shoot, and we're gonna cover some construction projects as well. And on top of that, we're gonna be announcing a very big project that we've been working on for a very, very long time on that behind the scenes video. Something different, and I don't think many of you are expecting an announcement like this, so I'm really excited. Please be on the lookout for that video. And there's also a sign up link in the description if you want to be informed when we launch that video and when we announce this massive project. I'm beyond excited. And with that, we're done with the bedroom level. Let's go see what the lower level has to offer.
Mexico is rich in tradition with design, particularly architecture. Over the years, you'll see a lot of the traditional Mexican homes with the palapa, the architecture, the chacum, the colors, the rich textures. We wanted to do that, but do it in a modern way. We use ipe for the decks because it's very resilient. Palm is another really strong wood that we use, and perota for the interiors. And with every obstacle that you find, presents an opportunity. You dynamite rock, but guess what? The rock that we dynamite, the rock that we carve out of the side of the mountain, is the floor of the pool that you swim in. Really, those materials, the world is your oyster when it comes to that. You can kind of play with it any way you want and create the environment that you're really trying to hone in on.
What I like about this house is the earth tones. It feels very natural. The chacum paste is warm, it's got imperfections. The concrete, I think it just blends very well with the terrain and sort of incorporated into, the cliff, basically. That's sort of the palette we were going for, and just have it blend in.
I can see the respect or the want to pay homage to the local materials
100%.
and finishes and the craftsmanship, all the way to trying to use local craftsmen instead of importing furniture or built-ins.
Right.
But then I'm also seeing the want to evolve this architecture and experiment with it and see what else can be created.
100%. After all, you are in Mexico, right? So you're coming here, you have a house here, you're purchasing a home here, you want to feel that Mexican traditional vibe, you want to pay homage to the people who have done this for years. You want to include the tradition in your house, but you can put a little twist on it.
Most of the stuff that we've procured for this home is either local or from a state fair in Guadalajara. We are very fortunate. Our interior designer, her name is Marusa. We've developed an amazing relationship with her, and we want to sort of celebrate the culture down here. It's another way to show them sort of another piece of Ziwa.
Welcome to the lower level, the last floor. This section is technically a carbon copy of the floor above us, but with some different nuances and different rooms. In fact, the room in the center this time is a gym. And it's just a nice touch. You have a techno gym treadmill, dumbbells, floating shelves with your drinks, towels, mirror walls, same palm ceiling, but on this side, we have a cold plunge with its own refrigeration system. So it's a proper one. And the Juliet balcony here is actually not a Juliet balcony, it's a proper balcony. It kicks out a little bit, so when you're doing some yoga here, working out, you can actually step all the way outside and enjoy that breeze coming in. Now, Cody, why don't we go back to the landing so we can check out the bedroom on the other side. And again, the layout is exactly the same off of its entry. You have a full bathroom with a long vanity, and then you go into the room. This one actually features 2 full-size beds, split AC unit, and to give everybody a little bit more context, when you build out of concrete, both for your walls and your columns and your ceilings, it makes it difficult for you to run AC duct lines, meaning you don't have the space unless you drop down the ceilings for you to run a central AC unit with a furnace. Instead, you have split units like this, and it is a little bit more efficient because that way you only use the ACs in the rooms that you're utilizing. So it lowers your electricity bill, a little bit easier to maintain. So I wanted to explain that. That's why we have split AC units throughout, and flowing this way, we go straight to the balcony. Now, given that we're on the lowest level, we're much closer to the ocean. We can hear it a little bit better, and you can also see the balcony that's right above us with a steel frame, which is technically the best way to build when it comes to strength, weight, and durability, especially in an environment like this. And this balcony actually wraps to the corner, so you can really walk out, enjoy, take a moment, sit here. And while we're looking at this view, I want to mention something. Punta Gorobo is compilation of multiple phases. We're currently in phase 1, which consists of 102 lots. And what you're seeing right there is phase 2 of Punta Gorobo. So this master development is actually going to expand over time, and it's going to become a bigger ecosystem of its own. Now, next up, let's go check out the second primary bedroom. It's one thing to experience the room from the inside, and it's another thing for you to experience it as you walk into the space. The first thing that really stands out to me with these primary bedrooms is the built-in section here, how you have the open shelving, and this section really anchors the king-size bed right in the center of the room. Well, some of the nuances are also different. The tiling and the color selection here is a little bit different on the floors, but you still have the beam ceilings, beautiful furniture. I love the chevron pattern here, your AC unit, the warmth, and this room is also wide rather than being really long, which I prefer, especially in primary bedrooms, because when you have a really long room and you push the bed all the way to the end, you're almost not utilizing the space. But when it's wide and you can walk around your bed, you almost interact with the space a little bit more. Now, a couple more things that I want to mention. Number one, it took the developers 2 years to complete this home, which is amazing given its challenges to build in an environment like this. That's quite quick. And number two, they literally just completed the home a few days ago. They're still putting some of their accessories and finishing touches. I wanted to mention that. I know we're towards the end of the tour, but that's something that I also wanted to talk about. Now, to my left, we have the water closet. Again, the same layout, your marble vanity. And going to this side, of course, we have another outdoor shower. Again, love this wooden attachment. Anybody out there who wants to put an extending rain head, this is a good concept to copy and bring your own personal touch. And lastly, of course, this balcony. It never gets old for me to walk from one of these interior spaces to the outdoors and see this view. And it makes me feel like I'm seeing it for the first time, even though I've seen it thousands of times at this point. That's how rewarding this view is. And I want to mention something. Over the last 6 years, we've gotten a chance to tour some of the best properties, incredible assets, drive some of the best cars, jets, experiences, you name it, we've done it. And one thing I've learned from all these experiences is that it's not the asset, the price point, or the specification that counts. It's really the individual's understanding, their experiences, their understanding of a palette, and how they pair these kind of experiences with different kind of elements or people to make these experiences really count. You simply pouring money into a home, into an experience, buying the most expensive thing is not really how you're gonna get the 10 out of 10 experience. You're gonna do that by being able to understand the experience that you're offered and be able to enjoy it to its full potential. And when I look at this environment, the raw landscaping here, the architecture, what Zihuatanejo has to offer, and if you can really get yourself immersed in that and really learn to appreciate it, it is arguably one of the best places on earth for you to spend time in. And that's why we're beyond excited that we got a chance to showcase this property and bring you one step closer to Zihuatanejo. As we reminisce on our time here, I'm reminded of the reason why we visited Zihuatanejo 3 years ago. The tour of Casa Encantado.
The video went viral almost immediately. We were pretty shocked. I mean, we were just dipping our toes in the water here. This was an unproven concept, and when it lit on fire, thanks to you guys and thanks to Tracy's exposure as well, we realized that we had something here and that there was a need for this.
Even before we built that first house, I would see how beautiful the land is and the cliffs, the ocean, everything. But it's hard to present that to people and sort of show them what they can build.
I would go as far as saying probably one of the most loved episodes we've ever done. People love the value proposition, but this land, the home, everything it stands for. It really resonated extremely well, and it's the least we can do to honor somewhere city location of development that deserves it. And this place certainly deserves it.
You know, it really sort of gave our business life down here, and we're looking to grow it and scale it. So it's been a huge help.
How does it feel now that it's all completed?
Feels great, actually. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's actually it's rather new, so it's quite surreal to be in it myself.
Yeah.
You know, spending years designing it and going through the trials and tribulations of a development like this, being able to enjoy it and share it with you is, you know, all the better. It's a privilege.
$4.5 million.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's an excellent value proposition for someone who's looking for something unique architecturally in a very private setting. You know, you're not in Cabo, you're not in a place where you're overrun with tourists, you have your privacy, you're in a gated community, and at the same time, you have your own private resort. This house is 10,700 square feet, and it's for a fraction of the price and upkeep that you would find in, you know, a metropolitan area like LA or Miami.
Part of the value proposition here is you know, price and affordability and being able to maintain this house. So we're always very thoughtful about that, and you know, the carry cost of a house here in Mexico is significantly lower, but beyond that we try to use materials that we know are gonna last, and you know, you're not gonna have to switch something every year, because unfortunately the salt from the sea is very difficult to deal with. We really appreciate you highlighting the development, because I really feel like we're just getting started. And so, you know, together with Related, we have big plans for this property, and we hope that, you know, we can continue to bring more people here, just so that they can experience it just like we are right now.
Proof of concept, now we keep going.
Now we keep going. Along with everything that Punta Gorobio has to offer, the town of Zihuatanejo itself is so rich with culture and history that we had to make time to experience it ourselves.
Based off of the itinerary we have planned and what you've experienced so far, I think you're going to feel like you've been here for a lot longer than you have.
I love that. Sign us up. And Nick was right. Our experience in Zihuatanejo was very memorable. It's the landscape and the warm welcome of its people, the colorful culture and vibrant energy. It all comes together in a special way that honestly is hard to describe. From the cuisine with breakfast in town and dinners over the bay, to the sheer beauty of the town itself and how it takes advantage of the landscape, really affirmed my belief in how special Zihuatanejo is and why I know our story in this town won't end here.
You know, at the end of the day, like, we want them to experience what we experience when we come here. But more than anything, it's really cool to see that other people are going to get to experience Ziwa and Punta Gorobio if they come here to disconnect, maybe they come here to get inspired, or they come here to work like us. It's pretty amazing. So.
Nick, thank you very much.
Ennis, it's been a pleasure.
This has been an amazing interview, and on behalf of myself, the entire team, thank you for having us here. Thank you for allowing us to experience Zihuatanejo at a level that we're doing and giving us the time, the resources, the access for us to capture this to our best ability, where we can bring these videos to everyone.
It's an honor. Mi casa es su casa.
I love it. Thank you.
Stillness. Stillness. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it. When the sun sets here, you see things that you wouldn't see during the day. Not to sound cliche, but every time I'm here, and as often as I am here, every night looking out over my shoulder is different. It presents a different landscape every time. Every time you think you know the sunset here or dusk, it surprises you.
Calm, it's quiet, What's cool about experiencing a sunset in Punta Garrobo is that it's not just the same experience every time, and it varies from home to home. Sometimes we feel like we're in a movie almost.
Night here is very special. It's very special. It's romantic, it's sexy, it's a little nerve-wracking when the first time, but you know, it's
And
fun.
you find your place in that.
Exactly.
When you're sort of on the deck at night, you look up, the stars here are just beautiful. There's no pollution out here. There's been times that I've come here and, it's just to reflect. And I think having those calm nights and that darkness really helps.
And allows someone a moment of reflection, okay?
Yeah.
You're able to really be one with yourself, be one with your thoughts, and it's a totally different experience altogether until you actually have experienced it.
All right, everyone, that's it from Casa Puente. Hope you'll enjoy this episode. It's been crazy to think that we were introduced to Punta Garrobo for the first time 3 years ago and now have the opportunity to come back to tour this incredible property has been really, really special. And for that, I want to give big thanks to Nick and Pablo, and of course the listing agent, Tracy Tudor, for making this tour possible. As always, you can find more information about Casa Puente in the description of this video, so make sure to check it out. Now lastly, if you enjoyed our tour, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.